All right, everybody, what's going on? It's Tuesday, May 28th, 2019. This is your dude, Chuck. And I know the camera's a little weird. It's a little off. I'm trying to set up something at home. What you will notice, though, is this is hands-free. So that's why the camera's off a little bit. But at least you'll always be at this angle. We'll always be able to see things. So that will be something at least. So let me try to just screw with it just a little bit here. Oh, okay, look, already that's better. All right, cool. We're getting a more straight angle look at it. Okay, I think it's about friggin' time that we start talking about the news. What do you guys think? We have the Indie News Wire here. I'm not going to click on anything today because my internet has been fucking throttled. So we're going to go through this stuff as much as we can from my memory and then from what we see. And hopefully next week the internet will be a little bit better and we'll be able to do things properly. So the Indie News Wire, check that out. Rob is terrific. He gathers up as much of the indie news as he possibly can. From crowdfunding to releases to convention appearances and all sorts of stuff. So if you guys want to know anything about the news of literally that day, the Indie News Wire. Now, if you want some pizzazz with your news, motherfucking Chuck is in the house. That's why you're here. So that's the Indie News Wire. And that one's for today. We have the Comic Initiative. The Comic Initiative representatives. And they are a reflection of the world. Comic books are a reflection of the world around us and how comics affect the... obviously, the rest of it's not there. But the Comic Initiative is a large group of us. Yes, if you look right down there, you'll see Bonfire Press. That's my publishing company. And it's a bunch of us who have stepped up and are kind of trying to really appeal to conventions, stores, etc. about the importance of comics. So there's a lot going on there. The hope is to eventually cut the country basically into sections, and we would have representatives in all sections. Right now, I'm the dude in Texas. Of course, we have a big Floridian group because that's where Rob and a bunch of others have started and have really started this push. But we have people all across the country. So I would read into that, check that out if that's something that you're interested in and maybe even interested in being a part of. I'm not sure if we're openly taking members right now. We are being very picky, mostly because we just want a really strong base to start with. But, it's there. If that's something you're interested in, ask around. Indie Advocates will be the official publisher of The Advocator. That's true. That was something actually that we got to... That was kind of cool. We were in Wahlburgers in Orlando. It's me... Well, there was a bunch of us. But at one point, myself, Rob Anderson, and Travis Gibb walked away, and we sat down and talked about just The Advocator. And that was so badass to be able to sit there, because so often in the comics world, we're doing stuff all by ourselves. We don't really, especially for us indies, we don't get to sit and talk with people so much and all that. We don't get to have meetings. And so every time I've had a meeting, it's been really cool, a lot of fun. And of course, Travis and Rob in everything that I've seen and been a part of those two have been some of my best friends. So being able to sit down with two of my best buds and talk about something that we're all passionate about, which is The Advocator, was really cool. I will tell you, The Advocator, it sold at... we were selling it at MegaCon last weekend, and we sold approximately 50 issues of The Advocator, which was insane for that first week. So, very excited, so cool. So, yeah. Keep looking for The Advocator. Speaking of keep looking for The Advocator, coming to crowdfunding, The Advocator Summer Edition. That's going to be coming at the beginning of July. We're going to be running, from what I've been told, from what we've decided, because I'm going to pretend like I was a part of it. No, I was, actually. We did talk about it. We're going to be running it for 6 weeks. And, of course, each week we talk about a different story. I don't remember all the ones that are in there, but Barbara Unleashed and Monsters, they have a cool crossover, which I'm very excited about. I'm getting to work and edit on that, and I loved the idea. It just made perfect sense. When Rob brought it up to me, I was like, oh yeah, I love that idea. Seed Seekers is going to be in there. Nature Boy, that's Brian. I almost said Brian K. Vaughan. Brian K. Morris. So yeah, there's all sorts of really cool stuff, and of course, the finale to Mary Revised will be there as well. So if you got to read the first one, you'll get to read the end of Joseph Dewis's beautiful piece, Mary Revised. Now, crowdfunding, we have Morgan's Organs, issues 1 through 3, the anatomically incorrect adventure. Today we had indie news with Brian K. Morris via Never Mind the Furthermore. Brian K. Morris is such a fun dude, like just genuinely a fun guy. What? His energy. He does it. Wendy just said it. He has just great energy. Love that dude very much. Very cool. Nora Volume 1 will be in Previews World in June. That's Casey Daniels' book. That's really exciting for her. I believe she's been in there before, but I mean, I think anytime any of us are able to get into previews, it's a badass feeling. It's one that I would like to have one day. Okay, the Indie Newswire, that was for yesterday. So we've, spoke about that. This, I'm not sure why this is on there, so I'm just going to move past it. The Comic-Con forecast from May 23rd to 26th, so that was last weekend. We have the crowdfunding report. So cool things like Belial would have been on there, except for it's not anymore. Why is it not on there anymore? Oh, that's right. Because we funded, bitches. That's right. Belial has officially funded with $3,078, 132 backers. Very proud. I want to give some love out. First off to my dude Sean Barber, to Rob Anderson, who's been behind us so much, to Tam Thuy, Max Battistella, Kyron Silva, and so many others. The amount of support we got was just insane, and we love you guys so much. Thank you, all of you, so much. Seriously, it means the world to us. So thank you guys. We've got more on the Indie Newswire, the Mega Share. Now crowdfunding, Elk Mountain Part 1. Now crowdfunding is Barbara Unleashed 2. This is Barbara's Aftermath. Aftermath was a great book. I really enjoyed Aftermath a lot. I enjoyed being a part of it. And it was actually the first one. I think for most people the first one was probably the best, but I enjoyed the second one because of the education. I know that probably sounds really nerdy, but learning about that world is really what has driven me and excited me most about being a part of that series. So Aftermath was the beginning of that and probably had the most explanation and whatnot. So I really love that a lot. And I think that's a good one. And honestly, I've held these books in my hand. Holy shit, they're so beautiful. The gloss covers and everything, like just these, I'm not shitting you guys. These are the absolute best books that Rob Anderson has ever put out. They're the most beautiful. He has gone back and reworked them. This is his shit. This is, at this point, this is the new bar that Rob Anderson has to climb over. Every time he puts out a book, he needs to be telling himself, is this better than Barbara Unleashed? Because those books were fucking fire. They sold really well at MegaCon, and they looked gorgeous. And I think the only reason they didn't sell better is because an awful lot of people came to the booth and they're like, yeah, we have those. Now, they didn't have the Barbara Unleashed, but trying to necessarily resell the same people on that wasn't as easy, but they noticed that there was definitely a change. And yeah, it's gorgeous. I think you guys are going to love it. We got some more news with Brian K. Vaughan. Now crowdfunding, not anymore. Huh? Brian K. Morris. Fuck. I think I need to go back and read some Brian K. Vaughan, because obviously I've got him on my mind. I just need to call him Brian Morris, I think. Now crowdfunding, Ruby from Planet Oz. It is done, that's true, and it funded. So that's another great one. Obviously, Belial, boom, we talked about that. Let's Talk Indie with Mr. Anderson, guest starring Travis Gibb. That's from a bit ago. There we go. Chuck's Raw Reviews, Killing Worth. That's a reshare. That's really cool. Now crowdfunding, Conceptual Heist. I've heard good things about Conceptual Heist. I would love to check that one out. That one might be done. But good book. Travis Gibb is taking over the 2019. He is? I kind of felt like we'd had enough of him. I thought he was done. Shit. All right. Well, I guess more of him then. Now crowdfunding, Inferi. In fact, Inferi, I'm going to be straight with you guys. Inferi did not make the mark. Usually we try not to talk about that because it's a negative thing, and you don't necessarily want to mention it. The only reason I'm stepping up and I'm mentioning it is because a week after failing to meet their goal, which sadly it just is what it is, they came back and they're back out again. So Inferi, you can still look up Inferi and you can jump on it. And after one day, they're already up to almost $1,000. Is that right, Wendy? Yeah. So, and their total is 2,800. They're looking for. So they're already.
29 days to go.
Yeah, they have 29 days to go, and they're already like 33% there on the first day. They're in a very good spot. So.
Conceptual Heist is funded.
Conceptual Heist did fund. Thank you, Wendy. Mr. Anderson reviews Dusk County Chronicles. I've heard of this book somewhere. Who's this guy? Joel Rodriguez? Am I saying that right? Is he even anybody special? I'm fucking with you, Joel. Joel's a great dude. I got to meet him at MegaCon. Really good guy. Him and his lovely wife, Chrissy. Chrissy, honestly, is a really terrific lady. A lot of fun and fucking hardworking. I have to say, a lot of times, women, the wives or, the husband, basically the spouse or the partner, they're usually fairly supportive, but hands off. Now, obviously, my wife is not only my editor, but she's actually sitting on our bed writing her first comic. So, she's interested in being in this world too. So when she's there, she's fairly hands-on. But a lot of times they're just, kind of there for support and help, but not Chrissy. A lot of times, in fact, Chrissy was the one behind the booth, and she was selling like a motherfucker. So, yeah, much love to, obviously, to Joel for what I hope is a good review. But much love also to Chrissy, because I don't think he could do it as well if it weren't for her and all of her support and everything. So you guys are a great couple, and I love seeing more of that. Now crowdfunding? Nope, not true at all. Broke Down in 4 Dead Bodies? Done. It finished on the final day of MegaCon, and it too passed its mark with, I think, right around $3,500.
Approximately,
yeah. And I think $3,500 and around 150 backers. So, good job, Travis. We love you, buddy. Comics in the Classroom welcomes Chuck Pineau. This was back in January, but since then, we went to MegaCon and we did I was very lucky to be able to do a panel with them. And I don't know if we actually have any video of it or anything, but it was very exciting, especially when Rob stepped up. Told his story, and it was pretty amazing. And it was great because he had so much energy, and I'm like, oh, like, at first I'm excited. I'm like, oh, man, look at that energy. He's doing such a good job. And then as he's starting to wind down, I realize, oh, shit, I have to follow that energy. So as soon as he's like, all right, and here's Chuck Pineau, I'm like, motherfucker, like, I got to jump up and I got to do this. But I can't yell motherfucker because it's Comics in the Classroom. There's a bunch of kids there. So I'm like, hey, what's up, everybody? And I just went to town. And I told some great stories, and I think I got some good info out there. I heard a little bit about it. Actually, there was one lady who walked by. I was in the middle of a sales of selling when she came up, and she's like, "Oh man, I saw what you guys did, and I really appreciate that." And that was beautiful, but I didn't really get to hear much of her words because I was too busy selling. And you know what? I think I would have loved to have heard what she said, but at the end of the day, selling, that's what I'm there for. So if I missed out on a little ego stroking, and because I had to do my job and because I was working too hard, I'll take that. I'll take that. But I know it happened, and I'm just going to fill in the blanks in my head. Oh my goodness, she said such nice things. What a sweetheart. Oh my goodness. All right, the MegaCon forecast. Oh, this was terrific. Just seeing all these people again who were at MegaCon. So many fantastic people. I'm looking at all these great names. It's already happened, guys. But it takes me back. So far, I would say this was probably one of my favorite conventions. I think a lot of it is because I met so many of my friends and made so many new friends. Joel and I didn't know each other very well. Obviously, Joel and Chrissy I didn't know very well. Martha I knew but got to know better. Steph and Matt, as I like to call them, the heirs. I got to know them very well, and we have a beautiful love. It's none of your business, but it's beautiful. All right, we're going to move past that because I could talk about MegaCon for the rest of my life, probably, until a better one comes around at some point. The Written Sins anthology is coming back out. Who wants in? Chucky does. Just saying. Here's more IndieWire, the Indie Newswire. Here's some stuff from Dirk Manning. So do you want to take our relationship to the next level? Who doesn't, Dirk? You crazy slut. And then we're back again to me doing the news. Next week, I'm hoping to be able to actually go through the Indie Newswire, tell you everything that's going on. Like I said, my internet, it was hard enough just getting this page up. It took about 2 minutes. And actually, you'll see down here, see, like, this stuff isn't even loading. So, yeah, I'm going to stop here. But next week, I'm going to go through all of that. In the meantime, guys, you know that you can go through that and get all the same information that I would have just been blathering to you anyways. So, everybody, I hope you've had a good time. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you're watching this, Rob, I remembered. It's been a while. I keep forgetting. But I remembered to do the news, buddy. You guys have a great time. As always, I'm Chuck Pineau. Peace, love, and comics. I'm out.